the time Japan was having some problem with America.
いつも通り。
まあいつも通り。
けど、まあ。
You don't want to go ahead for the opening?
I don't know if I should go for the opening. It's your channel.
Welcome back to my channel.
Thank you. Thank you for that clear distinction.
I got a person here.
Oh, so I've been removed from the special guest list. I can tell now. なんか
How do you feel?
ちょっと痛い。
I got the special guest today. Are you happy with that now?
もう遅い。
So if that's the first time for you to watching my video, I got my guest slash my husband here.
Hello.
Michael sensei.
Hi.
So we'd like to talk about politics. Because when we went back to Japan 3 months ago?
It was
2 months ago?
It was in March. I know you forgot because
3 months ago. Yes. I'm correct. My family and my friends were asking me how the politics works in Australia. Because that was the time Japan was having some problem with America.
いつも通り。
まあいつも通り。
けど、まあ。
So before we start any single conversation, I just want to make clear that whatever we're gonna say is our own opinion.
Yes.
And we just speaking the system generally
speaking, and we might actually make mistakes. I will definitely say this. So if you
there's no correct or wrong.
Yeah, there's no correct or wrong. You can have your own opinions. It's politics.
Yeah, I just want to introduce because I found a lot of good things about Australian politics system.
Okay, that's the first time I'm hearing it, but okay.
I just want to introduce how that works. Okay.
All right.
Well, my first impression about Australian politics was that, not politics itself, the election.
Okay.
Back then, when we were...
Not erection, by the way, right?
I hate it. That was the first video got like...
So viral?
Not first, but viewed the most, I believe.
Is there any news or something happening from Japan? Okay.
And then I was like, oh yeah, I believe we have erection.
Wow. Are you having
1 million.
Are you having flashbacks?
I do. I hate it. Like someone came to me like, weren't you the one getting the viral with a dirty joke in English? I'm like, am I? Am I?
It's interesting. It's one of the better things to be viral for, I feel like. So don't worry. Sorry, I took you off guard. Yes, elections. Okay.
So back then when we were in Tokyo, so you were kind of panicked that I need to vote by end of today or something, like by 12 or something.
Yes.
You were kind of panicked in doing that. I'm like, why are you panicking? And then you told me that then you will get fined.
Yes.
Right?
So yes, if you're registered in Australia, so if you put your name down that you like to vote, and you don't, you will get a fine. Yes.
How much?
I think
50?
It's
bucks?
Around 50, I think 40.
Yeah, I think your
40,
uncle told me that.
It's around 40 to 50 bucks. Yeah, it's not much.
I'll put here. I'll ask the ChatGPT, then I'll put here.
Yeah. You can, I mean, it probably goes up with inflation. I have no idea. But yeah, you pay around 40 to 50 bucks as a
that was a little
shocking.
Not shocking, but impressed.
Can I put one of those 10 things I didn't know about Australia?
Here are 3 things I had no idea existed until I moved to Australia.
I need to make that now.
Or 5 things you should know as an Australian citizen.
You need to pay if you don't vote.
Yes. If you're registered to vote and you don't vote, you will have to pay a fine.
So I believe the percentage of, how do you even say, percentage of voting?
Yes. Voting participation.
Ooh. It's pretty high, I believe.
I believe it's around 98%. I don't have my phone, but you can check. It's around 98%. So you can put in voting percentage. Oh, sorry.
Can you tell me the voting participation in Australia versus Japan?
Okay, I'm interested. Ooh.
In Australia, voting is actually compulsory. So they usually have really high participation rates, often over 90%. In comparison, Japan's voter turnout is usually a bit lower. For instance, in their 2021 lower house election, the turnout was around 56%.
Okay.
56?
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, but that's half compared to us.
Yeah.
That's almost half compared to us.
That's true.
So, yeah. I mean, yeah, ChatGPT said they have compulsory voting. That's true in a sense. However, if you are not registered to vote or take yourself off, technically, you don't need to vote anymore.
Yeah.
So it's only when you register yourself that it's compulsory to do so.
And another thing I got impressed was that when you were panicking, you were about to vote through your phone.
Yes.
On internet.
Yes.
I don't believe we can do it for Japan. Even if I'm overseas, I believe I need to go to embassy and do that.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes. I don't remember. Hey. So we didn't have that either. That's something really new.
Weren't you doing it in Japan?
I did. I just don't remember how I did it in Japan.
Long time ago.
No, but
it's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago, but so I think I had to do something online, but then I still had to vote via mail.
Yeah.
So it goes by mail. So you can do
Still.
it. But yeah, you can do it by mail. You don't need to go to the embassy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the first impression about Australian election.
Can I tell you what I like about the election?
Yes.
Our TikTok pages. Have you seen them?
No.
Like before we vote, our politicians come on TikTok. And yeah.
I think like Japanese politicians doing that nowadays as well.
Yeah.
Even YouTube was advertising on the weekend.
Yes. Yeah, our advertising laws are pretty bad actually, I would say.
How come?
Because we don't do that much fact checking. So there's a lot of incorrect data and incorrect things that might have happened.
Well, that's the whole point of social media, I feel like.
Not just social media, in TV as well. Advertising everywhere.
Well, that's what's happening in Japan as well. Some media is talking about only one party, then not the other.
Yep.
It's controlling them opinion, right?
So yeah, they control the agenda, right? Like I've seen, for example, they advertising about the current prime minister, the prime minister who won now, by the way.
Which is same as the previous one.
Correct. So this is his second term, basically. He just won his second term. And
I'm following him in LinkedIn.
You're following Albo on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Anyway, look, I'm not gonna say particularly that I love him. I prefer him over the other options that we have currently. But basically, the opposition, the person who lost. Dutton. His name was Peter Dutton. His party would campaign based on very small segments, so they would get a very small amount of data that had nothing to do with, let's say, Albo, current prime minister, and they would use that to say, this is his fault. なんか全然関係ないけど、でもめちゃくちゃアドバタイジングする。So if I'm somebody who has no idea about politics and look at that on TV, I might be like, oh, I didn't know. This prime minister was like that. I'm not gonna vote for him again. So it's very easy to manipulate voters. Older people, I would say, as well, or anyone who's not aware of these things. Because if you look at the TV with the way advertising is done, you're gonna think like, oh, this is proper. This looks so legit. This must be true. But 90% of the time, 99% of the time, they're not true. Somebody needs to fact check these. And yeah, I don't like it because
that's a problem. But what do you like about Australia comparing? from Japan?
What I like about it, like we have politicians who come to TikTok, for example.
Oh, that's what you said, right?
Yeah, so they really, I guess, especially this election, I saw that
this
a lot.
time.
Yeah.
I even saw like a politician speaking in Japanese and Chinese.
Yes, from Parramatta.
Parramatta.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so she was the member for Parramatta. And yeah, she can speak a lot of languages, and one of the languages that she spoke was Japanese. And she was basically saying like, "Hey, please vote for me. I'm your member. I'm your member."
This, that in Japanese.
In Japanese. And she said she studied Japanese in high school. So
well, a lot of people study Japanese in here.
Yes, we actually there's a lot of schools in Australia that teach Japanese as a second or third language as an option. Yeah. It happens a lot. I think Italian is the most common one.
So now?
Yes, because there's a lot of Catholics, and so we like Italian, and also Italian background people as well.
So going back to the subject, can you describe what kind of option you guys had in the latest election?
Yeah. So in terms of options, we actually don't have that many.
Didn't you have like mainly two parties?
Yes and no. Look, we have more than two parties. Just like Japan, I guess. We have more than two parties.
How do you call that system? I don't even know how we call it.
Parliamentary election.
So.
Yeah, parliamentary election. It's similar to Japan. Yeah.
So
we have a lower house, upper house.
I mean, you guys don't pick prime minister.
Correct. We don't pick the actual prime minister. So every member of parliament is representing an area.
So it's not like America. It's more like Japan.
Not. It's more like Japan and UK. Every member of parliament, parliamentary person, they control an area. Let's say they're representing an area, and usually within that area you've got different people competing. So let's say the current prime minister, Anthony Albanese, he controls an area in southwestern Sydney. So that's where he's from, and he's gonna compete with, let's say, 3 to 4 other people. So only those people will get the chance to pick him as the member of parliament.
Right. Well, anyone win in the area will get the chair, right? So let's say if there is 100 areas for voting, whichever the party got the most amount of number of win, that will be the main party.
Correct.
じゃあ日本と同じじゃない？
日本のシステムあんまりわかんないから。
So that's the thing. Like even when I went to Canada, even in here, especially at work, a lot of people talk about politics.
Yeah, it's because
it's pretty sensitive topic. Like we don't specifically say which one we're following or something. But even at work, when I was leaving on Friday on that weekend, they were like, "Oh, don't forget to vote."
Yes, of course. I mean, look, everything is sensitive for Japanese people, so I'm not sure.
We're just sensitive.
I can tell.
We're just sensitive.
Just sensitive people. But I guess, because the only people who can vote are Australian citizens. So
I can't vote.
Yes, you can't
Just
vote.
to be clear.
Yes.
I can't vote.
So in a way, we're showing how much we care about being Australian. So if you care enough about the country, you should vote.
Yeah.
So that's why, we're proud of that. We're proud of
that's, to be honest, that's pretty fair.
You didn't let me finish talking about how many, people we can vote for, parties we can vote for. The main parties is the Australian National Party, the Australian Liberal Party, Australian Labour Party, and the Greens.
That's the name? The Greens?
The Greens. There's smaller ones out there, but those are the major parties. And if I had to say, none of them are really fantastic options right now.
None of them are perfect.
I should say with my values anyway. With my values, right? As a younger person, I can't say young anymore. As a younger person, I feel like housing affordability is something that I really care about, and none of the parties have come up with a proper solution on what they should do. The Greens have some really good ideas, but the problem is in a lot of instances, they don't get enough votes to come into power and do something.
Yeah.
Even though I do vote for them. But look, one of the best things we have in our voting system is actually how we can preference different parties. So we can preference from 1 to 10 what we like.
So it's not like you voting to one party.
Correct. So if your first vote or your preferred vote doesn't get enough votes, those votes will go to your second.
なるほど。
So every vote that you do actually counts.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as you wasted
It sounds like
your vote.
Pointing system.
Kind of, yeah, kind of. You know, I hear so many people going like, oh, what's the point of me voting? It won't make a difference.
Well, that's how I feel, to be honest.
But see, it's not like that here. So if your first politician, let's say, that you like doesn't get enough votes, those votes will go to your second liked. So that means
still affecting
and it's
your
still affecting
opinion.
Exactly. So you always your first choice, your second choice, and your third choice, you have so many different options. So it's not like you burned your vote. And that's what I like about a voting system. So we always have that option. You can always make a difference. One of the best voting systems, I would say, in the world, just because of that.
So my next question is, as a alien point of view,
Okay.
what do you think about American politics?
Oh my God.
Because every single time, like, I don't know, it could be just people around me, but every single time when they ask me about Australia or asking me foreign countries, they always refer America.
So, yeah. I mean, look, the thing is, maybe if someone from America is watching or listening to this, thinks like, why do you guys even care about American politics? But the truth is, America has so much influence that whenever there is an election, American politics will influence us. That's reality. I wish America didn't influence us to the point, so we don't have to worry about stuff like that. But unfortunately, their internal and international politics affects us severely. So
both to Australia and Japan.
Exactly. So because of that, I have to care. Unfortunately, again. What can I say about American politics? It's horrible, I guess. I mean, if you look at it right now, it looks terrible.
I always wonder why that needed to happen. Like every single stuff, I just feel like, why did it need to happen? And also, one of our friends who just came to Sydney to visit us recently, he was living in Japan, but he recently moved to Los Angeles,
yes, California. Yeah.
According to him, the life there sounds very bad.
Well, yeah. Normally speaking, California, I would say Los Angeles especially, it's actually very similar to Sydney in some sense. You know, the beaches,
but do
the
you
expensive
need to
lifestyle.
Do you need to care? Maybe your wife will be taken by governments.
Yeah, I mean...
Because she looked like Mexican or something.
Yeah, look. Yeah, I mean, he himself looks like a Mexican as well.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Do I need to worry about my wife or myself?
Yeah, look, see, that's one problem, right? Another problem is, I'm not sure if you saw the riots that's going on in LA. There's a lot of different things that's happening in California right now that is not ideal. Yeah, I feel bad for him. But in the end, it was his decision to go, so...
Yeah, so I just wanted to introduce how Australian politics works. It's funny because it's kind of similar to Japan.
I mean, both have prime ministers.
I believe a lot of my subscribers are living in Australia or looking for to moving to Australia or coming to Australia. So I believe at least it's good to know.
It is good to know.
Even though I don't have the rights to vote.
So if you had to vote, if you could vote, this is my question, in Australia, who would you have voted for?
Yeah, so that's it for today.
Who would you vote for?
Well, I'm not going to share my personal opinion, that's it.
So you let me share my personal opinion, but you don't need to cut it. I'm okay, I'm proud.
Well, you're comfortable to say that.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Not comfortable to say
That's such a Japanese thing to say.
Because you're not showing your face.
Well, that's true. That's actually okay. Fine, that's true. All right, fair enough. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Hi.
That's fair. Well, thank you for joining us for another clip of what this is interview with Shiomi.
Yeah. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. If you liked my channel, please subscribe my channel. Otherwise, I cannot continue editing my videos.
That's right. It's very hard to look at yourself and edit, by the way.
Putting the entire subtitles in English and Japanese. And I work so hard, but sometimes I still get the comments that says, oh, this part is wrong. You should have said this.
Probably is.
Instead of that.
Probably is, though. But that's okay. Nothing in life is perfect.
I know, unfortunately.
Yes. So please like and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.
I'll see you guys in my next video. And him.
I'll be in the background.